History has often called them the ultimate warriors. 300 men who held off an entire empire, defining the gold standard of sacrifice. The Battle of Thermopylae is legendary, but history ignores kinetic energy. Today, we run a combat simulation that defies the laws of time. Not just soldiers, but the absolute bleeding edge of tech. The setup begins here, at the Nevada test range, field testing the NGSW. 3 Marines armed with XM7 rifles, chambered in 6.8, and 1 sniper equipped with the legacy M40A6 system. Suddenly, a violent atmospheric anomaly tears right through the grid. When the heavy dust settles, the dry heat of Nevada is gone. It is replaced by the humid sulfur air of the Aegean Sea. They are 6,000 miles and centuries off course. History remembers this place as the Hot Gates, the perfect kill box. Target acquisition confirmed. 400 meters out, the massive Spartan phalanx forms up wall to wall. To King Leonidas, these figures are Persian sorcerers. He orders a probing attack. A single unit advances forward. The Marines attempt to de-escalate the situation, but the language barrier is absolute. The Spartans charge. The team leader authorizes the use of lethal force. Take a moment to appreciate the irony of the nomenclature. The Spartans carry the dory spear, only effective at 20 meters. The Marines carry the XM7 spear. The name is the same, but the physics are alien. A battle of spears where only one side can reach out. The first wave is completely shattered in mere seconds. 6.8 millimeter rounds turn bronze shields into shrapnel. However, the Spartans are not mindless savages. They are, in fact, the world's premier military tacticians. A frontal assault against these thunder demons is suicide. Leonidas does something rare. He orders a retreat. The Spartans pull back behind the cliffs to regroup, realizing they cannot fight what they cannot reach. The Spartans fall back, but the Marines do not celebrate yet. The team leader nervously checks the mags. They burned 40% of their load in 30 seconds. Fire discipline was lost in the chaos, and they are 6,000 miles from a resupply crate. The math is simply not on their side. While the Marines count bullets, the Spartans count the minutes. They realize the sun is their enemy. They will use the terrain to neutralize the range advantage. An uneasy silence descends as night eventually falls over the valley of Thermopylae. For the Spartans, this darkness is their element. They know every rock and every single crevice of the Hot Gates. They strip off their heavy armor to move silently. From a tactical perspective, their plan is logically sound. Use the pitch-black night to sneak right up on the enemy. Close the gap to 0 and slit their throats. They believe the sorcerers are human enough to be blind. It is a perfectly logical assumption. It is also a fatal, tragic error. The Spartans are strictly bound by the biological limitations of the human eye, while the Marines are operating with state-of-the-art sensor fusion technology. They flip down their GPN VG-18s, panoramic night vision goggles, providing a 97-degree field of view. While Spartans are groping blind in jagged terrain, the Marines operate in a high-contrast digital reality. More importantly, they use thermal fusion. Body heat glows like a bright beacon against cold stone. You can hide from sight, but physics always finds you. The Spartan infiltration team moves in, believing they are ghosts. Suddenly, the silence is broken by a whisper. Suppressed rounds find their marks with surgical precision. The leading Spartan drops dead, his chest destroyed. They are falling to shooters they literally cannot see. Panic sets in, primal and overwhelming. They are being hunted by technological predators who own the night. For men who have never known fear, the psychological impact is devastating. The demons have eyes that burn green in the dark. The team leader uses a thermal clip-on for his M40. He isolates the heat signature of a captain rallying his men. Through the thermal optic, the futility is clear. The Spartans are slashing at the air, fighting only shadows. The sniper steadies his aim and exhales slowly. He sends a match-grade bullet through the darkness. The target's heat signature crumples and fades instantly. The survivors break and flee back to the main camp, carrying tales of monsters with glowing green eyes who see into the soul. Dawn breaks. The rising sun reveals the carnage. The entire pass is now littered with the broken bodies from the night ambush. The Marines are tired, eyes burning from the strain. A quick check confirms the worst. Magazines are dry, but the Spartans are not broken. They are waiting. King Leonidas and his personal guard remain standing among the dead. They know they are dead men walking. With the finality of the morning light, they charge one last time. Not for victory, but for a death worthy of song. The Marines drop their useless rifles and draw their M18 pistols in one fluid motion. The engagement distance collapses to 0. The phalanx crashes into the fire team. Bronze meets ballistic polymer. At this range, there is no room for tactics, only pure reaction time. It ends in a brutal, short skirmish at point-blank range. The last Spartan stands defiant, staring down the barrel of destiny. And finally, he falls to the ground, unbowed. A heavy, haunting silence returns to the battlefield of Thermopylae. The technological gap proved insurmountable, but the courage was equal. The Marines sit amidst the bronze and blood, shaking uncontrollably as the adrenaline finally fades. They check their loadouts with trembling hands. They are down to their last pistol magazines and combat knives. They wiped out the legend of the 300. In any other war, this would be the end. But then, the pebbles on the ground begin to vibrate. Not from an earthquake, but from the rhythm of marching feet. The team leader looks to the north. The morning smoke clears to reveal the horrifying truth. The great army of Xerxes, 1 million strong, fills the horizon. He turns to his leader, face pale. "Sarge," he whispers, "we're gonna need a bigger gun."